So now I got to figure out how to do my ramps. I've got this idea that I want them to slide in here and then you can slide them out. But I didn't get any drawings for doing this. So I got to spend some time in my thinking chair and contemplate matters of grave concern. The clip you just saw and the ones to follow was actually taken more than 7 months ago. Can you believe it? If you're an astute observer, you'll probably see a little bit more rust on this frame. And you'll probably notice that I'm a little thinner and my beard is maybe not quite as wild as it was. So yeah, if you are a regular here, you will know that I've had quite a bit of drama in the past months. And without getting into the details of all that again, the net result was that I never got to finish building these sliding ramps. So let's take a look back at what I've done, and then I'd like to get them finished now. In case you don't know, my name is Duff, and I have been working on my 1959 REO Gold Comet long-term project over the last couple of years. I'm busy turning it into a ramp truck. And I'm kind of at the point now where I think I'd like to step it up. I'd really like to see this thing running. Only problem is I've got too many projects and not enough time. I've still got to finish the wife's Reno bug as well, and you know, you can't mess too much with a swim boat. So I've got this idea now to fit this piece of angle bar in here, something like that. And then my ramp can slide on that, so I'll have to do one on each side. But now right here, there's a bump in this old original flange, on this vertical flange of the frame. There's a bunch of holes here where something used to be attached. So this bump's gonna stuff me around no end. So this is thick stuff, man. I'm not gonna hammer that out. And I do want it flat. So I think I'm gonna use the good old flame axe and heat it up and see if I can flatten it by swinging a hammer at it. Nope, I gotta get more heat into it. Nope, no success. My little Mickey Mouse cutting torch here, the spotter pack, doesn't have the wooma or the oomph to get enough heat into that piece of thick plate. I'm gonna have to come up with another idea. So the bump is still there. It is bump 1, OG 0. But brains can beat muscle. I've welded on this bit of flat bar to act as a spacer. And I'm going to bolt on my track with that M8 countersunk. Just like that. So that just allows the track to stand away from the frame a little bit. So that gap provided by my piece of flat bar that I welded on now clears that irritating bump and it allows my track to sit nice and straight. So the track on the outside needs to sit the same distance away from the frame as this one. So here you can see that I just added these pieces to give me that distance. So my track on the outside now, which is also the same size piece of angle bar, now sits like this. Yeah, I've still got to weld it fully, but this should work. So the plan now is to build a frame for my sliding ramp with 3 by 1.5 box section that will sit like this. Same on the other side, and then it can slide and slide back in. Here on the inner side it will sit on that angle bar like that, and also be able to slide, of course. Okay, so I finally got the frame for my first sliding ramp together. I had to spend quite a bit of time in the thinking chair to figure this all out and then fabricate it. So let's hope it's all going to work out. So the plan now is to actually build another frame that will actually sit inside this one. It can also slide. And when that is done and it's all checking out and all good, I will plate this over. Yeah, You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. So I've only got about 9,900 hours to go. And then I will also be able to lay them dimes like a pro, man. Luckily, I do have more than 10,000 hours on the good old grinder there. So now it's looking a little bit better. I turned these two pieces into this ladder structure now. And this is going to be my inner sliding ramp. I will fill it in here with some plate when all is said and done. And if any of this doesn't make sense at this moment, it will become clear in a minute. Okay, so let's see if my measurements were any good. This one should be able to slide in like that. There we go. So remember, this will be plated over, so you won't see this in the end, unless it's pulled out. And then of course this one will also get plated. I see I still need to cap these two ends, just when you think you're finished. So it's probably a good idea to just go and try this thing on a truck first before I do the final plating on it. So let's go and check it out. Okay, now let's see if my tape measure didn't lie to me. This should be able to slide right in here. Lekker, man. Except I got it the wrong way around. Let's roll it out again. Should go in like that. Here we go, man. Lekker. If you don't know what lekker means, it's a South African slang word for cool or great. So that's working out well. Now let's see if the inner one will fit. Ta-da! I love it. So I think I can actually now clad this with the steel plate. So here's the plan. This is going to slide out like so. Up to that point somewhere. I'll add some stops here so that it doesn't fall off. And then you just lift it and hook it in there. Ta-da! Hot, nice through butter. Plasma sorcery, man. Ta-da! It's not coming off. Some new permanent hieroglyphics on my floor. Just adds character, man. Right, so this piece of plate can now drop in right here. Like that. And then I can weld it up. This is 3mm plate, 1/8. I'm sure it'll be strong enough. So I got the bottom end all stitch welded, and I'm going to stiffen up this edge here by welding in this piece of 6mm 1/4" flat bar, like that. I think I'll fully weld it on this side. This side I'll just stitch it. Right, let me get my piece of plate onto this one as well. We can weld this one up too. Just gotta line it up nicely. And then do my stitch welds. Something like that. And it's back to the present times. So it's been many months since I started these things. I'm going to finish them now. I rolled it on these flat bar strips for two reasons. Number one, just to support this plate to prevent any bending or dishing or whatever you want to call it. When you drive a vehicle up the ramp, it's 1/4 inch. No, I'm talking nonsense. It's 1/8 of an inch or 3 mil thick. So I suppose that possibility does exist. And number two, it will provide some traction when you drive up the ramp. Now I could have stitched weld them on, but I opted to go for these plug welds. I mean, it'll work just as well and it looks nice. Kind of reminds me of rivets. Okay, so let's give it a test drive again. This extension piece should slide right in there now. Let's see. Yes, man. Now I'm sure there's lots of comments already. Why didn't you use aluminium? It's lighter and it won't rust. Aluminium is how we say aluminum for my friends in the States. Yes, in a perfect world, but I don't have a welding machine that can weld aluminium. And man, the price of aluminium out there is outrageous. So I don't mind using the mild steel. We can certainly afford the weight. That's good exercise. And yeah, who cares about a little rust down the line? It's going to last for long enough. Okay, so now let's see how this is going to work out. Now this thing is heavy, and I've already got a hindsight moment here. Because ever since I started building this, I've become a little older and a little weaker. And now I'm starting to think I should have done aluminium after all. But this is what we've got, so let's see how it's going to work out. Yeppa! Alright, so far so good. Now if all is good, it should just slide in there. Oh, well, there you go. The old man can still do it, only just. But I think for the most part, when I'm going to be driving with this thing, I will never be alone. I'm sure the barefoot mechanic will be with me, so that I can just put him on to do this, so he can give me a hand. Let's see now if the next one will go. Because this one is supposed to slide right into that one. Line it up. Yes, man. That's working out. So I must just repeat that side. And then we can see how it works out, and if I pull how it works when I pull them out. So let's get this left-hand side one in place too. And then this one, it goes inside it. Right there. Now of course it will be an absolute disaster if these things slide out while you're driving. So this pin with the handle on it is going to prevent that from happening. Goes in like that. Now it cannot slide out, and yes, this also locates it nicely inside this slot here. Now if I want to slide out my ramps, pull my pin, now they can slide out. Okay, so let's put this into practice. I haven't tried it yet, so let's hope it works out. Here's the picture in my mind. We've just arrived at the secret location and we're ready to load this absolute barn find. I'm allowed to dream, right? I mean, it's like OG Dirk says, if you stop dreaming, you might as well die. First step then, I pull my pin and I stick it through this hole right here, which will prevent the inside track from sliding out. I slide it out all the way until it comes up against the stop here, which I'll show you just now. Now we lift it so that it can hook in on this lip, like that. And now to get my inner piece or my extension piece out, one man, you do the wide leg thing, pull the pin, lift this, and it slides out, and you can adjust it obviously as to where you want it. Yes, I think it's working very well. So to put it away is just the reverse of those steps. So I'm just trying to show you how my stop works so that you can't pull the track out completely, or the ramp, or whatever you want to call it. So here in the bottom I've got this angle bar running across, and then you'll notice there's some tabs here on the actual ramp itself. And then when you pull it out, the ramp will catch against the angle bar there to prevent it from pulling out all the way. As you can see there. Here's another view of that stopper bar, looking at it from the back. If I pull the pin out here, the whole ramp contraption can slide right across the stopper bar. But in the front I've got the tabs, so it can't come out all the way. And then once the ramp is pulled out all the way against the stopper bar, you'll see there's an angle bar welded in here, and also an angle bar on the front of the ramp itself. So now you just lift it up and you hook it over there. Okay, lekker man. Let me have a seat right here. I'll tell you one thing. These things are heavy, but they are as strong as fudge. No, it's going to work well. I'm happy. Let's check the track widths we can handle. So maximum is 78 inches, 1.98 meters. Now my F100 is 76 inches. So that will be there. So we'll be able to load the F100 no problem. And here on the narrowest side, I measure 34.5 inches, about 880 millimeters. Let me go and measure the narrowest little car I have to see if that'll work. The little Fiat Topolino, inside to inside on these really skinny little tires. I see, let's call it 39 inches. What was the measurements on that truck again? Let's go check it. Yeah man, 39 inches is there, no problem at all. Okay, in all fairness, we do lose a little bit here. But let's see. 39 inches, we will just make it. Just need to aim carefully. Well then, that's been quite a bit of progress, so I'm quite happy with that. Another thing that I did, which took quite a lot of time, is I completed all the welding on this frame. Upside down, inside out, the whole lot of it. I kept me quite busy, but that's done, so that's a big hurdle. I know everything's a little rusty, but we'll sort that out down the line, so I'm not too stressed about it. So I think next for me will be to deck this whole thing. Yes. So we'll tackle that the next time we work on the REO. Thanks for hanging out with me out here in the forest. I enjoyed your company. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a lekker one, my brothers and awesome sisters.
just depends on you. So think a little bigger and